So I'm Debbie Dedon, and I brought Tom to Australia in 2016 after seeing it in Israel, and we have our third Makeathon happening this weekend. PwC has been an amazing supporter of Tom. They came into our Makeathon in 2017 and they wanted to sponsor a breakfast for us this morning to celebrate our Makeathon starting this evening. It's an opportunity to thank all of our sponsors, government, philanthropy and corporates, and also to hear about the importance of disability and employment. We had a great panel here this morning and interesting to hear all of their views. So this morning is the start of our Makeathon actually, and so this evening we have our 8 teams of makers coming together. They're volunteers who are engineers, designers, 3D printing experts and occupational therapists, and they'll be working on challenges, and we're looking forward to having the development of solutions for those challenges over the next 2.5 days.
We really feel that Tom is just an event that is going to change people's lives, and here at PwC we're really committed to making a difference and hopefully see some really good outcomes over the next couple of days. We talk about it a lot where people with disability are happy to be working, and there's all stats around their commitment to whoever gives them a chance. We've got some really wonderful people here at PwC that live with a disability and are already in our firm, and the commitment they show to our firm and improving the culture is really impressive.
It's wonderful to see so many people in the room that all share the same goal, ensuring we create greater opportunities and employment for people living with disabilities.
When I first went into the workforce, I probably didn't recognise how much discrimination actually existed. I was quite oblivious to it until it happened. And it was my very first attempt at a full-time job where I got to the point of, you're the best candidate for the job. 5 minutes later, someone more senior to that hiring manager came out and said, actually, you're the best person for the job, but we can't give it to you because we can't accommodate your vision.
For too long, I think we've had this kind of sympathy approach, which I know that Tom is definitely trying to shift that. Sympathy is a very alienating thing. It says, I feel sorry for you, you're out there. Whereas empathy and understanding, which is what Tom is trying to do in this whole event this weekend, is actually about getting alongside and getting a small understanding of that. Technology can just remove the barriers for people, provide the assistance that they need in a workplace.
We tend to design things for the mainstream, the middle. We don't look enough at the edge users. We all should be exposed and share life with people with different experiences, backgrounds, perspectives.
And I would really challenge everybody in this room, when you go back to your workplaces later today, just to ask why. So why does the door need to shut at 4:30? I think that's the biggest step you can take. I think conversations like this are really important because they put a human element to it, and I think that that's a really valuable asset to see, why when you're being asked to put in all these standards or, implement all these schemes, why it's important and who it affects and the benefits both for the employee and the employer.
Don't look at what people can't do, look at what they can do. Because I'm telling you right now, yes, people with a disability have weaknesses, but strengths are bloody good. I've got no doubt that at the AFL I had a positive influence on their culture. People that have disabilities love the opportunity to go and be a part of work, and the person sitting next to me saw that, me massive smile on my face, and that had a positive influence on the whole culture of the organisation. When I'm coaching, always the questions are around, how's it harder to coach in a wheelchair? What are the difficulties of coaching in a wheelchair? No one ever asked me, what benefits do you get from coaching in a wheelchair?
Conversations like we've had today are so important because before I hurt myself, I had no idea about disability, but being exposed to it, you learn so much more, you feel more comfortable, and you learn what people can bring rather than what they can't.
What Tom is doing is actually right at the heart of the changes that we need to make, and that's around more inclusive design thinking. It's around looking at the edge users in our communities and understanding those needs, because if we look more deeply at the edge users, we actually make our world more accessible for everyone.
But what we've done at Swinburne is we've kept the Tom program going, and we now have Tom at university. And so Tom at University takes our design cohorts and our engineering cohorts and works through different projects with them to take them to the next level, to turn them from what we produce on the weekends, like this weekend, and turn it into an actual product.
In terms of changing employment prospects for people with disability, we need both a bottom-up and a top-down approach. So we need to think about the market opportunity. Who are the people we're actually missing out on? Are the talent that we're missing out on when we're not employing people with disabilities? I really think that a more diverse workforce are going to be better representative of the general population that are out there. So if we have 20% of our population currently who have a disability, then that should be reflected in our workplace as well.
The best thing about today was the discussion around the subconscious representation of people with disability in our media. I think one thing we need to be focusing on is support for entrepreneurs with a disability. For myself, one of my greatest mentors is someone with a disability, and I think there needs to be more support around that.
The level of conversation, the level of inclusivity, the level of thinking and thought that goes into everything that we do, I think we need to flip the script. I think we need to talk about less about what people can't do, more about what people can do, and what their superpowers are, and how they can contribute and how they can make a difference in a business, in a community, in society.